Well, here we are. Hey guys, it's Spencer. I'm back again with another stream. I told y'all that there would be more, and here we are, and there's more. So, today has been quite a day, Just for me, I've just been in the house, Been in the house, haven't been doing much. But other than that, what just happened? Well, if you can tell by the title, the Houston Texans, who have made some just awful decisions in the past few weeks, are acquiring Brandin Cooks from the Los Angeles Rams. Now I know the Rams were getting getting rid of a lot of their players. It was started with Todd Gurley and then Clay Matthews, but Brandin Cooks, wow, I never thought he would be another guy to go. And this is telling me that they're just moving on from all these guys because they're starting rebuild. I know that the Las Vegas Rams are starting to become kind of an item, and the Rams are, I don't know, maybe it could be that they're just going in a rebuild, or they're just trying to rebuild a new team for Las Vegas. I don't know. But fortunately for the Texans, the reports come in a little while ago. The Houston Texans, after making probably one of the worst decisions they've ever made by trading DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson, an over the hill running back who has not been good in years. They get Brandin Cooks from the Los Angeles Rams. Now they don't quite fill in the gap where DeAndre Hopkins was. He was holding this team together a little bit. When we traded him, the team fell apart. But now that we have Brandin Cooks, we give Deshaun Watson some backup. We give him some players to throw to. But at what cost? Well, a second round pick and a future pick. Reports come in and say, I'll take it. I'll take that all day. Brandin Cooks for 2 picks, not even a first round pick, definitely. Because you know what? The Texans got ripped off when they traded Hopkins. They didn't even get a first round pick for DeAndre Hopkins, the best wide receiver in the game. So let's think about our lineup now. DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver. Or not DeAndre Hopkins. That was last year. Nope. Now it's Brandin Cooks. Brandin Cooks, wide receiver. Kenny Stills, wide receiver. And then Darren Phil's tight end. Which is, I like that we gave him a new contract, but I don't know. I don't know about him. He set a record last year for most caught touchdowns by a Texans tight end, but let's be fair. That's not saying much. The Texans have never really had a good, decent tight end, but I'll take it. So after Darren Fells, you have Will Fuller. But do I see Will Fuller coming back now that we have Brandin Cooks? No, I do not. And point being, because Will Fuller, one, gets hurt a lot. Two, he's a very good player and all. When he comes out of his injuries, he's just as good. And I'll give him this. He's a very good wide receiver. I think he's Pro Bowl type. But when you have a guy like that who gets hurt so much, I just can't see it working out for you. I can't see it working out. So what will become of the Texans now that we have acquired Brandin Cooks? Maybe not officially. It's not totally 100% official yet because it took a little while for the Hopkins trade to be processed. I think it's actually still being processed from what I've heard. But what does this mean for the Texans? And now that I'm almost 5 minutes into the live stream, I'm finally getting into the topic. Where does this leave the Texans? Where do we go from here? That's what I said a few weeks ago. Now I'm saying, what does this mean for us now that we have Brandin Cooks, a very decent wide receiver? A wide receiver who's had success in LA, who made a run to the Super Bowl with LA, who sadly lost in the Super Bowl, although it was the most boring Super Bowl ever. But he was a huge part of that run. So, what does this say? What does this mean for the Texans? Now that you have a guy like Brandin Cooks. Well, as I said, he doesn't fill in the DeAndre Hopkins gap. I don't even think him and DeAndre are on the same level. I would put Brandin Cooks on the level right below. So, let's see. We got Deshaun Watson at QB. Now, when we traded DeAndre, Deshaun said, okay, this is terrible. I don't have anyone to throw to. And that's the purpose for this live stream, is why did the Texans do this? Why did they trade DeAndre Hopkins? That's what everyone was thinking. Why did they trade DeAndre Hopkins? Well, because Billy-O, infamous Billy-O, did not like DeAndre Hopkins that much, apparently. He compared DeAndre Hopkins to guess who? Aaron Hernandez, a murderer. He compared DeAndre Hopkins, a guy who's really done everything for the Texans. You compare him to someone like Aaron Hernandez? Really? Really? And from there I said, we're the laughing stock of the NFL. And that's what everyone was thinking. We are the laughing stock of the NFL. But then these reports come in. I don't understand what O'Brien is doing exactly with this team. It's a bit confusing for me because you have a guy like Hopkins, you trade him to get David Johnson when you had Carlos Hyde. You could have just re-signed Carlos Hyde or Duke Johnson or whatever his name is. You didn't. It was very unnecessary to trade for David Johnson of all people. Like if you're going to trade DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals, you better be getting a first round pick and someone like Larry Fitzgerald to replace Hopkins. Now I understand that the Texans really wanted to get that first round pick trade. I don't see that happening now, since we have Brandin Cooks, because we're meeting with all these wide receivers. No, we're not going to need these wide receivers now at the draft. We're not going to need them, which is good news because now we can just stay on track and go after others. Do I miss DeAndre Hopkins? Of course, with all my heart. I love DeAndre Hopkins. He's, he's an inspiration to a lot of people. And to see him leave the Texans, the thought of him not being in a Texans uniform next year was baffling. It made me physically ill to think DeAndre Hopkins is not going to be a Texan after this offseason. He's not going to be in a Texans uniform. He's going to be in a Cardinals uniform alongside Kyler Murray and Larry Fitzgerald. But now you got Brandin Cooks. Decent player, decent wide receiver. Does this, as I've said about 4 times, he definitely doesn't fill in the gap for DeAndre, but he can give Deshaun momentum. And that's what Deshaun Watson needs. Because now, we're not playing around anymore, Deshaun. We may have been playing around these first 3 years. We better be seeing an elite if you want to be on this team in the future. Now, Deshaun is quite possibly the best quarterback the Texans have ever had. Has he had his downs? Oh, yeah, of course. Has he had his ups? Oh, of course. Yes. But can he really lead this team with someone like Brandin Cooks and someone like Kenny Stills to back him up? And can David Johnson back him up? I think that's the biggest question for the Texans, though. Now, I know this video is supposed to be about, Brandin Cooks and everything, which I'm very excited about. Brandin Cooks is a great player. But I think that's the biggest question for the Texans this offseason. Where do you go with David Johnson? You saw that he had his struggles in Arizona. In Arizona, he had his struggles. In Arizona. And the Texans are better than Arizona. Maybe not smarter than Arizona, but they're better. So, what would David Johnson provide for the Texans if he can't really provide for the Cardinals? He's prone to injury. He's been inconsistent since the end of the 2016 season. Where do you go? What do you do? I don't know. And that's kind of the purpose of this live stream. I'm not sure what the Texans are going to be next season. No one is. No one is sure if they're going to be good. No one's sure if they're going to be bad, especially now after getting Brandin Cooks, of course. So that's why I'm doing the live stream, because I want to see what y'all think. I want to know what y'all think. So you see the chat here. Feel free to comment whatever you think about this whole Brandin Cooks trade, because we're live. I wouldn't be doing a live stream if I didn't want to hear what y'all are thinking right now. So feel free to go chat live. I don't care. It's up to y'all. But anyways, back to the topic. The purpose that Bill O'Brien has on this team, with this team, is to make Deshaun Watson happy, to make the team happy, to make the fans happy. Of course, that's what every coach is for. But what has Bill O'Brien done in his time here in Houston? He's made the playoffs multiple times. Has he made it past the second round? Nope. Should he have? Yeah, definitely. Has he GM'd well? What is my grade for him this offseason as GM? It's hard to say, because now that we have Brandin Cooks, I'll give him like a C+. But before that, it was a D. A definite D. I wasn't going to give him an F because, we got Randall Cobb right after getting rid of Hopkins, but I don't understand what he's doing right now. I don't know where he's going with this team. It's just like you're trading away guys and getting guys who are like the same. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. Maybe he just wants to try out new people, but when you get a guy like Brandin Cooks and Randall Cobb, who are not on the same level as DeAndre Hopkins, but are pretty good, pretty decent wide receivers in their prime, like Hopkins, what are you doing? You get rid of Hopkins, but then you get a guy who's a little worse. You get two guys who are a little worse. Texans load up right now. On offense, receiving, and QB. Watson, Cobb, Stills, Fells, Cooks now Cooks, yeah. And then David Johnson. And Duke Johnson, hopefully, and backup. I'm a bit lost here with the Texans. I don't know what they're doing exactly. I don't know why they can't get past the second round. I don't know why they lost to the Chiefs. I don't know why our defense is so bad. I don't know why we can't find a decent coach. So it leaves me to the front office. Cal, football is not your sport. I don't even know if you like sports, Cal. But Cal, if you don't start making better decisions, you better sell the team. Sell the team. Sell the team to someone who knows football. Someone who won't necessarily move us away, but someone that will move us in the right direction. But it it's just Cal. It's like McNair. Why do you love O'Brien so much? What is so special about Bill O'Brien? What makes Bill O'Brien so special? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why Cal and the front office like Bill O'Brien so much. Although, Cal doesn't really count anymore because Bill O'Brien is our front office. He is our front office. Bill O'Brien, typically, I'd say Bill O'Brien's our owner. He he's the ruler of this team. And when someone like D Hop, who has done who has who's gone to big lengths for this team, comes up to Bill Yo and requests something, asks him for something, or says he can just do something with the team. Bill Yo says, "You're not gonna question my judgment. I'm in charge, not you. I'm in charge." And I didn't quite say that, but I heard it from someone, and I said, "That's a really good point," because it is. It's a very good point. So O'Brien, I don't know what you're doing. But Brandin Cooks, I'll give it a thumbs up. Randall Cobb, I'll give it a thumbs up. Do I give the Hopkins trade a thumbs up? Of course not. I think the only people who are giving the Hopkins trade a thumbs up are the Cardinals fans. Or at least the ones who aren't David Johnson fans. But that's not the point. The point is, I like this move by the Texans. And I think this gives us a bit of depth by acquiring Cooks, because you're leaving an empty slot in the lineup. You don't have two decent tight ends that you can start. Will Fuller is kind of history now, so you've really only got Stills, Cobb, and Cooks. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Is our offense Patriot level? Oh, beyond. I think the Patriots even may have one of the worst offenses in the NFL as of last year, and as of now that Tom Brady is officially a Buccaneer. I didn't see that coming. I thought he would either re-sign with the Patriots or he'd go to like the Chargers or something, or 49ers. That's where I thought he was going. 49ers, but he went to the Bucs. For some odd reason, the Bucs went after him when they had Jameis. But Jameis was 30 interceptions. Yeah. That's like 3 interceptions a game, but not the point. Point is, my predictions, I'm gonna just go ahead and reveal my predictions. Whoever's watching right now, I can't quite see who's watching. I don't know who and who's not watching, but I want y'all to give me your opinion. What do you think the Texans' record is going to be this season? What will they do? Who will they lose to? Who will they win? So I'm just going to give you my straightforward answer. What's the Texans' record going to be this year? I'm going to give you my answer in 5 seconds, and I'm going to just keep talking about the Texans before I say it. Texans are going to finish 9-7 this season. If not, 8-8. I don't see them going 10-6. I don't see them going 11-5. Definitely not. They will finish 9-7 this season because that's Bill O'Brien's favorite number. 9-7. Put a little dash between it. It's 9-7. He loves that. He loves that record with all his heart because it's been basically every record the Texans have had with Bill O'Brien. I do want to take a moment now, though, to talk about where the Rams are going, because that's an interesting story. You trade away don't trade away, but you release Todd Gurley and Clay Matthews. Now you get rid of Brandin Cooks, who's your best wide receiver. unless maybe someone else. I may be missing someone, but I don't really pay attention to the Rams. But I'm sorry, what? What? I I don't understand it. So what? You go 9-7 last year, and automatically you're saying, well, we failed. Time to rebuild, and then in 15 more years we'll go to the Super Bowl and get whooped, and then we'll rebuild again, and then go to the Super Bowl 15 years after that and get whooped. Where are the Rams going right now? I have no clue. I think it's laughable. I think the Rams are going to be a laughing stock next season, and they have a great quarterback and everything. Jared Goff is a great quarterback. Is he going to have people to work with next year? No. No. Mm-mm. If the Rams even finish 500, I'm going to be the most surprised I've ever been. Because I can't imagine them even being 500 next season. I can't even imagine them winning like 6 games. I see them going like 4-12. And I know why, because you just trashed 3 of you know, 3 of your best players. If not, one of them may have been your best player, which was Todd Gurley. But the Texans are the topic of this video. And I keep getting off track because I want to talk about it. I want to talk about where the Texans are going to go after this season and where we're going to go moving forward from that season. Not just this season, the next season, and the next season. I don't know how long we'll have Brandin Cooks. I do hope it's a multi-year contract. But overall, I'm going to say the Texans make it to the wild card. I'm going to say this year they lose in the wild card. Because now that, the Ravens are a top tier team and the Chiefs are a top tier team, and with the Texans' schedule being, revealed for next season, I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, you guys can tell me right now. Do you see the Texans doing big things next season? Do you see them making big trades for the rest of this offseason? Because the draft is coming. And we're going to have to make a decision if we want to trade for a first-round pick, which would be key, in my eyes, key. Maybe get a defensive lineman or a defensive tackle, whatever you want to call him. But, he lost DJ Reader. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't know. I don't know what the Texans are going to do. I'm confused. I like that we got Brandin Cooks. When I saw this news, I immediately went to work and I said, I got to talk about this. I got to talk about this. Because I feel like the people who watch my videos understand where I'm coming from. And that's basically what this channel is about. Understanding where I'm coming from. Now, I say things sometimes to, give my perspective, of course, but with this, I like it. But I want to know what y'all think. So, I'm going to wrap it up here. About a 25-minute stream. I'll take it. But 25 minutes talking about this Brandin Cooks thing seems a bit satisfying for me. So, I'm going to stop it here. What do y'all think? Comment down below. I don't know. What do y'all think? Brandin Cooks to the Texans? Whoever we gave to the Rams? I don't know. We're going to have to see. So I don't know. All right. So I'm going to leave it here. I will see y'all later. Like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on the Texans getting this guy. I'm going to give this trade grade B+, B+. Not an A because I don't think Brandin Cooks is a caliber player. So, once again, I'm leaving it here. I'll see y'all later, Texans fans. If anything comes up, I'm going to stay updated. I'll give you all updates. All right. Bye.